Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel Tech Sky. I hope that you guys are doing great. In today's video, we are going to talk about the data types that are used in the programming language C++. What are the data types and how can we use the data types in C++? And what are the purpose of different data types that are being used in C++. So let's get started with the things. And before starting the video, I request you guys to please subscribe my YouTube channel Tech Sky, and don't forget to press the bell icon so you never miss any kind of update from my YouTube channel Tech Sky. So let's get started with the things. So first you need to open your compiler, the compiler that are using for the purpose of the development. So I'm using dev C++, so I'm going to open the dev C++. Alternately, if you are using any other compiler instead of dev C++, you can go with that compiler, but in my case I'm going to use the dev C++. So now I'm going to create a new source file. For creating a new source file, you can go here and just click new source file. Now if you are already using the C++, so the initial approach in C++ is that whenever we start a program, we just need to add some header files, because without header files you can't start a program in C++. It will not be executed because some of the header files are necessary, and those are the essential part of any program development in C++. So proceeding forward, I'm going to use h include input output stream, then hash include conio.h. That's my second header file, and then using namespace for the purpose of saving the characteristics. So using namespace std, then integer of the main, which is our main function, and then get ch, last but not the least. So in this way we have created our program structure, and now we are moving forward towards the data types. So basically there are a number of data types that are being used in C++, but there are 4 basic data types. How many data types that we can use in C++ for the storage of different variables and other things? So there are 4 different data types that are basically used. So the first data type is referred as integer. The second data type is referred as float. Third one is referred as character, and the last one is referred as string. To be honest, string is not a kind of data type. It's a kind of library that is being used in C++. You can use is as a data type, but you have to declare before the usage of string. You just need to declare the things first. You have to include the library of the string. As I've told you, the string is library, so hash include string dot h. In C++, whenever we talk about the libraries, so dot h is the extension that is used for the libraries. So anyway, the data types that are usable in C++, all the data types that are used in C++ have different kind of reserved word or keywords. Reserved words or keywords are the words that are pre-reserved in the compiler. These words have specific meanings, and we can't reuse the reserved word. We can't reuse the reserved word in any other perspective, such as naming the variable. We can't name the variable if we have the reserved word of that one. So for the case of integer, we got the reserved word int. If you want to use the integer data type, and I'm going to tell you that what are the purposes of these data types. So in case of integer, we will use int. In case of float, we will use the reserved word float, and in case of character, we will use char. Now this one is referred as char. You can't name it as, or you can't pronounce it as char. So you have to need to put a closed loop because the character is the place from where the character is derived, and you can say that it must be pronounced and written as the char one. So last but not the least, string, and we will use the string as string. So I have told the reserved word that whenever you want to use the integer, you will go with int. In case of float, with float. In case of character, you have to write char, and in place where you want to use a string, you can go to with a string. Now, what are the purposes of this data type? Whenever you want to store a data of non-decimal type, whether it is positive or whether it is negative, but it must be non-decimal. So for storage of non-decimal data, we have to use integer. So it start from -1 to infinity, and it start from +1 to infinity. It can be positive, it can be negative, but it can't be a decimal number. So if you want to store the non-decimal data, you can go with the integer data type. So moving forward, the float data type. So the float is used to store the decimal data. Whenever you want to store the decimal data, you can go with float. So I'm going to write the examples as well. So in the integer, I will write 33, 99, 999, 65. So it's etc. You can use any kind of, or I'm going to use a -1 2. So -8, 65, 999 and 33. So all these datas that I've given you the example, these are a part of integer. It can be stored via integer. So in case of float contains the decimal data, the data that is positive or negative. So float brings you an opportunity that, and it is a kind of additional bonus, that you can store the decimal data as well as non-decimal in float. But it is a recommendation that in the float you must store the decimal data. So, and the data that is that can be either a positive or that can be either a negative number. So you can store that data using the float. So 77.6, 9.8 and -6.4. So all these data are the float data, and you can store inside the float when you're going to go through from the variable declaration and the initialization process. So the next data type is character. In the character, you can store a single character. So a single character means that only one alphabet. You can either store A or you can either store B. You can only store a single character. You can't store a word that contain a characters more than one. So that thing will be referred as word. But if you are going to store a single alphabet, or you are going to create an app regarding the MCQs or regarding vowels, so you can go with the char, because we know that you can store single characters inside char. So I'm going to write single characters, and now I'm going to give the examples. It might be A, N, M, I. So anyways, these are the characters that can be stored inside the char data. Now the last thing, it's a library, and as well as you can use, or I must say that you can reuse the thing as a data type. So this one is string. You can store a whole word. You can store a whole word inside the string. So a whole word can be just like as hello, bye, hi, and who. So all these words are these things are the words, are whole words. These things doesn't contain a single character. They contain the word more than one character. So these can be stored under the string. If you can go with the data type string, you can store these things. So in this way, these data types that I have presented you, and I have presented the reserved word, and I have told the purposes of each data type, and these are specifically used on behalf of the purposes that I have told you in today's video. So that's all from today's video. I hope that you guys like the video, and if you like the video, then do subscribe my YouTube channel Tech Sky, and don't ever forget to press the bell icon so you never miss any kind of update from my YouTube channel Tech Sky. And if you got any question on your mind, you can comment down in the comment section. I will reply you guys. Thank you. We'll meet you in next video. Till then, take care.